So today is just a really great opportunity just to talk to our Supreme Milan icons about their ballroom journeys and just getting to know them more on the level. So thank you so much for coming all this way. It's such an honour and pleasure to having you all here.
So shall we just start with introducing ourselves? So I'm Leighton Rees Milan, part of the UK Dynasty.
Hi, I'm Ty Milan. I'm also part of the UK Dynasty, the Royal Iconic House of Milan, darling.
I'm Dawan Milan. I'm an icon in Ballroom, two-time Hall of Famer. I've been in Ballroom for 28 years, and I am very welcome. I'm happy to be here in the Wells community.
I am Brandon Milan. I am a Butch Queen Face icon. I've been in the house also 28 years, and I am also a two-time Ballroom Hall of Famer. And I am so glad that you are allowing us to come and speak to you guys.
My name is Jamal Milan. I am the GOAT when it comes to Old Way and Face It performance. I have been in the ballroom scene since 1989. I'm not going to say the years. You can do the math on your own. And I'm very glad to be here.
So yes, welcome to Wales. Again, it's such an honour to have my father, of course, but also the other icons. So thank you for coming and supporting our first mini ball. It's going to be a historic moment for us, and yeah, it's just such a huge honour having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are
Thank
so
you.
happy to be
It was a long time coming.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it was.
But worth, and absolutely worth
Absolutely.
It was
it.
sure was.
Mhm.
So let's go. Any questions? What do you want to know?
Oh, we're all prepared with on our list.
But before you start, I want you all to be free and ask us anything under the Ballroom umbrella that you have questions about. Because we have been in one house for over 20 years, so we know the formula, not only of the House of Milan, but for Ballroom, the aesthetic of it. You saw when we did our workshops, we were very passionate about what we do. Ballroom wise, so be free and ask us because we're open book.
Okay. All right, so this is a question to all three of you. What inspired you to join Ballroom?
Well, Jamal and my cousin inspired me to walk balls. Jamal actually, from the age of 16, he taught me how to vogue. He is responsible for my career. Other than the things that I did naturally, it was his inspiration. It was his dedication to teaching me. I was fortunate to be able to. We was born in the same city, so once we became friends, I was over there every weekend, and until he had to stop me. You know, as a young boy, I was just so interested in it. I didn't know what it was at first, but after I got the grips of it, I studied in the house with him for 2 years before I started walking balls, a little 95 or more of 96 into 97. And we, and from there, that's who actually inspired me to walk. And he is my best friend. He is my, we're the dynamic duo. We're everything, so yeah.
What inspired me to get in Ballroom, it was 1996 as well, but like Dawan said, it was New Jersey on the East Coast. My story is different. I came in the House of Milan in the South when we planted the first chapter of the House of Milan down south under my gay mother. She's no longer with us, may she rest in peace, Tony McCoggle Milan. He inspired me to be in Ballroom. I didn't know what walking face was. He was like, "Oh, honey, you're going to go to the ball." I said, "Okay, do I have to get a tuxedo?" Like, I didn't know what Ballroom was. But then he showed me what it was. I never saw him. We never practiced or battled in the house. I got my notes from him in action on the Ballroom floor. So before Facebook, before YouTube, you had to take mental notes, go home and practice. He is who inspired me to be a Milan.
For me, I was always a dancer. And when I was younger, I was always active. So I was always doing something like karate or stuff like that. And when I first went to a ball, the category was performance. And I saw people doing this dance that I did not know what it was. I knew it was a mixture of karate and breakdancing, but I wasn't really sure. And just seeing everybody vogue and having a different style, I was like, oh my God, I wanna learn that dance. So then after that, the next category was face. And I saw all these gorgeous guys, and I'm like, these guys cannot be gay. That's impossible, they're too gorgeous. And that also made me want to be a part of it as well. Because I was like, well, if they can do it, he's not cuter than me. He's getting 10 girls to 1. I can do it. You know what I mean? So after that, because we didn't have YouTube or anything like that, you went off of what you saw. So you know how you go to a karate movie and you come out, you're like, oh, you think you can do karate? I did the same thing with voguing. So when I left the ball, I went home and I was like, the guy was doing something like this. And then I was hanging around some friends who also vogued, and I would watch them, and then I would take it home and I would vogue every day, everywhere I went. Every time you saw me, I was doing some type of vogue move because I was like, I've got to master this. What is this dance? And ever since then, ballroom has been, I say, voguing has saved my life. Because when I was younger, I had the opportunity to hang with people who were doing mischievous things, we'll just say. And rather than do that, I said, I can either hang with these guys and do that or stay in the house and learn this new dance. I think this new dance is going to be really, really something. I don't know what it is, but I want to do this. And when it does, I want to try to be the top of whatever it is. Rather than, and I'm just going to be honest, they were busting windows and taking things out and, you know, stealing. I said, I'd rather do this than to do that. And then I thought about my mother, who's my best friend. And I was like, if you get caught, how are you going to explain this to your mother? Like, how would she feel? And so that also was a deterrent for me not to pursue the mischievous lifestyle. So voguing saved my life, I say.
And I want to add to that, that I have, Jamal is my Vogue side, but my gay mother, who was Chucky Montana, Supreme Milan, actually also inspired me from my fashion and my runway part of Ballroom.
Can I just ask you guys, because with being, say, like in America, coming from like the streets and stuff, how was it getting into Ballroom, but also, you know, where this is a very like LGBTQ plus community? How was that for you? Because I think this is what has been a kind of, say, like difficult for myself, is being able to like fully be yourself, to come out, and like I'm the youngest of 7, so how was that for you guys, especially being of color?
I would love to answer that. Before Ballroom, I knew about the pageant scene. I'm already a gay black man. I'm already in the lifestyle. I was into pageants. I was a former dancer for Miss Amber Starr. I've danced for Miss Black Universe, US of A, Continental with the legendary girls Amber Starr, Tandy Iman, Santangelo Dupree. So that was already a scene. It was easy for me because I wanted to do something because I saw all of that going on. But I was like, I don't want to do pageants. I don't want to really perform and do evening wear, sports wear, talent, presentation, all of that. I want to find, and so when Tony introduced me to the balls, it was an easier way for me to pay my $30 at the door, read the category sheet, soak it in, and compete. It was an easier segue for me to do that. So I was already in the pageant scene, so the transition into Ballroom was it was easy for me once I knew the politics on how to win my category.
For me, it was different because I came out in the 80s and being flamboyant was not something that you portrayed in public because you could be, you know, bullied or what have you. So going to the balls, I was always a masculine person, but I always tried to make sure that I was extra masculine, right? And I had friends who were drag queens, so after the balls, it was hard because when you go to the balls, it's very late at night, and people can't really see if you're a drag queen how well your makeup is. But in the daytime, you know, it's a whole different story. So you're sitting on the train with people going to work and drag, you know what I mean? So that was difficult for me. I always tried to make sure like I was with my friends to protect them in that aspect, but it was difficult as far as dating is concerned, because when people found out that I was in balls, they didn't want to date me because of the stigma that came with it, as far as, like I said before, busting windows, stealing, sex work, stuff like that. So I had a hard time dating. As far as my family was concerned, they supported me from the age of 16. I was fully supported, so I didn't have to worry about that. But from a ballroom perspective, it was really hard on me. Trying to transition and, you know, being masculine and then want to Vogue, and is this masculine enough, is it not? My friends are transgender, they're going through these issues, so it was tough back in the 80s.
I agree.
Well, for me, I come from a very rough place, you know, the ghetto, and they were really strict. I came out the same way with Jamal. We from the same place, same city. So I started walking realness at first. I was walking schoolboy realness. You know, could you tell am I gay? Do I look like a young man that goes to school? And so I started out on the realness part. So to Vogue was very taboo. I only went to his house to Vogue. Once we went out, there was no voguing. We was hiding from it. It's like, no, we don't want nobody to know that we Vogue. Also, coming up dating and trying to date as a teenager, the men wasn't receiving of you voguing. They didn't even want you to. We couldn't even really talk about ballroom. Ballroom was taboo. We talked about it amongst people who walked balls, and it was easy for me to transform to Vogue because I was in talent shows as a dancer, and I was winning talent shows. So when I seen Vogue, and I was like, oh, that's not really dancing. What is this thing around their face? You know, where's the street dancing at? You know, and once I fell in love with it, I didn't want to do realness anymore because I felt like it was a little boring for me. You're just walking up and down the runway and people judging you to see if you're gay or not. I wanted something more out of it. And when I found Vogue, I just totally ditched realness. It was like, it's been going on forever, but it is good to be able to be masculine and feminine when you need to be, because the world, you know, we just being the LGBT, everybody love us now, but they didn't always love us the way they love us now. So to be able to talk freely now is really a blessing, you know. So
yes,
because
agree.
it wasn't hard coming into the life and accepting myself.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So the next question we also have for you and for you all as well is, what was one of your favourite moments on the floor? So many to list, so many to choose from.
For me, I
know
would
what you're
say
No.
one of my favorites was, okay, so as a Voguer, I think that you should always push yourself and try to do better. And to me, to be the GOAT, you have to always try to be better. So I would always look at history and see who has done what from a voguing perspective. And no one's ever vogued with nunchucks. So I was like, oh, okay, this is my opportunity to stand myself apart from everybody else. And they had and I said, I can't do this moment at a small event. I have to do it somewhere big. And the Latex Balls is one of the our annual events that we have every year. It's a free ball, so a lot of people come. Janet Jackson, so a lot of celebrities have been there. And I said, okay, that's the ball that I have to do it at. And coincidentally, they had a category, Bring It Like a Ninja. So I had my ninja outfit, I had my nunchucks, and I had just made up my one-hand walk-around move. So that was pretty popular for me at the time. And when I did that move, it was 2001, I'll never forget. I started voguing down the runway with the nunchucks, and everybody just went crazy. Then I did my walk-around, swinging it, and then around my body. And I actually trained myself how to use it, to make sure that I'm not just have it. You know what I mean? I want people to know that it's real. Even when I vogue with knives and swords, I practice and train with those things. I don't just do it for the heck of it. That's why when I do things, it looks simple, but if you try to pick up the sword, number one, it's heavy, and it's not as easy as you think it is. So when I saw that opportunity, I said, you know what? I've got to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I practiced for months for that one. Like, you think it's an hour, but it's really like about a minute long performance. But to me, that was one of my favorites, for sure.
It was amazing. You have to see that on YouTube.
He had the ponytail like a set.
No, not that one.
No, not that one. That was the next year.
That was the next year.
He came out as a ninja, and as a young boy, as his student, and with all these people lined up behind him, I was like, he cannot be all those people. There's no way. He came down with these nunchucks. It was just.
I did ninja rolls and cartwheels, and I wanted to embody ninja. And I think because of that, us both, a lot of times when they had the old way, they would have it just bring it. But the one time they would have it in the ninja suit, we took it so far out the box that people started having it in jeans and a t-shirt, or bring it like this, or bring it like that. But they started having old way in different categories because of us, because of the way we were taking it one step above what the category asked for. And that's what I always tell everybody to do, no matter what the category asks for, even if it's jeans and a t-shirt. Don't just get a regular t-shirt, cut it up, put something, tie-dye it, do something to stand out above the rest.
My favorite moment was 2014, and I had really actually retired from balls. So I moved to New York, and I was filming a television show I told nobody about. I had already been in pre-production. That's when Born to Style came out, 2014. And they called me. They were like, Brandon, we're having the Martin Luther King Ball. It was 2014. I'm doing a category in your name. Miss Tony had just passed. And, you know, the House of Milan, people were paying homage to him. And, you know, he opened up the chapter of the House of Milan in Atlanta. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go to Atlanta, and I'm not telling anyone. So I was in Atlanta. I had heard of some new Butch Queen faces. Now, mind you, they're way younger than me. There were the girls, but I came out in Atlanta, so I had a point to prove. Didn't even know about the cash or anything. So I sat outside in the car all night, and I had one of my house members call when Butch Queen Face started. They said, Brandon, 4 girls have walked. I said, I'm at the door. So when I came through the door, I came from all the way from the back and sold it. The girls gagged. I went over everybody. So when it was time for me to battle, I went and got a fan. That's when I bought the infamous fan out, and I used the fan as a prop. That clip goes down in Butch Queen Face history out of my generation.
Right.
That was my favorite moment because they didn't know who I was. It was like, Brandon, yes, if you don't know me and you're from Atlanta, how dare you? Yes, I started you girls. So yeah, that was my favorite moment.
My favorite moment was when in Ballroom, every time you get a status comes a lot of heat. So Legendary, I had to prove myself, and Icon, which was one of my other favorite moments, but my Icon moment was, you know, when I, you know, had to show Ballroom that why I was iconic. And there was so many people second guessing me. This is what I'm going through. This is what helped me vote. And I wasn't supposed to come to this ball, but I ended up coming because my gay mothers told me I need to come. And I'm like, let me find all this stuff. If I can find all these things, I'm going to do it. And I didn't practice. I came into the ballroom, and I'm like a secret kind of detective when I'm walking. I just don't want to talk to anybody because I feel like everybody pulls your energy, and you know, it takes away from you as a performer. So I came in, I went upstairs, and I stood there for the whole ball on a balcony. And I watched the ball, and then I felt the energy. And when they called for Owe, I came off this balcony, and I was trying to see how I was going to come down, but
It was
as I was coming down from this balcony, I was blowing this whistle. And no one seen me at the top but the people upstairs. I was already performing before I came down. Well, I was coming down like, oh my God, how am I going to get off of this level? And I came down like, oh my God, now I'm here, I'm stuck. How am I get? It was like a spider. And so by the time I got down, and he was like a main judge. He was right in the middle.
all the way up front.
And no matter how close we are, you don't want to let a person like this down. You know, it's like, you better turn it out. And by the time I got there, it wasn't my best performance as voguing, but it was my favorite moment because of the impact. I was serious. The crowd, the energy, the banging on the tables. It just was just my favorite ballroom moment that I think will always be remembered.
That was
and
always Heritage Ball. They heard you before they even saw you.
Yeah.
Yes, that was over.
Oh, thank you. So, also to ask you all as well, seeing how Ballroom has grown over the decades, do you believe that it's changed for the better or for the worst?
Ballroom in America, to me, is too political, and I think it's changing for the worse. I can't say it's changed because it's always evolving, but it's changing for the worse. That's why I dive more into the international side of Ballroom. Although you have Paris that's pretty established, you know, they have their issues as well, but I would rather be someplace where I can help people not make the same mistakes that we made in America. And if they're receptive to it, then, you know, so be it. If not, then, you know, you'll see what we went through. But I think that Ballroom in America is changing. Internationally, it's growing.
Yes.
So I'm looking to see what each country does.
I would say it's changing for me because it's a lot of money involved in Ballroom now. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of funding. It's a lot of people are making their houses businesses. They're getting trademarks. They're getting LLCs. This way you can brand your house, make it a business, get funding, write grants, get money. When we started out, it wasn't about money. It was about a trophy and bragging rights. So it's changing. It's evolving. in that aspect. You can do more under licensing and things like that. Business-wise, Ballroom is changing. Sportsmanship is kind of stagnant, but changing as it relates to the international side of things. America can change. America fluctuates. You can be this, that, up, down, black, white, high, cold, in, out. You know what I mean? So everything changes. But for the business aspect, I would say Ballroom is definitely changing.
To be quite honest to you, I think that Ballroom in America may be changing for the worse for me because of the money. We voted because we was talented and to get that trophy and it wasn't all these like extravagant things that you had to bring it like, we created that because we wanted to be more, but I just don't feel like it's as fair as it was. Nothing is ever fair, but I'm drained from the whole process of trying. And I just think that after you have dedicated so much into Ballroom, it is time for us to now have our roses. If we've been here for 3 decades, we're still praising people that was here in the 60s and 70s. What about the doors that we opened?
Yeah.
And for me to have to fly all the way here to get the energy that I expect for the people who watch me grow. It's just, I don't know about the international ballroom culture as much as he do, but I'm willing now to take a chance to educate, and not to bash America because that's where I come from. That it is ballroom. Ballroom, people look at balls from YouTube as if it's this glorious place. It is a place where you can learn from the bad or the ugly. You have to have tough skin to do it. You have to be dedicated, and you have to be prepared for shade because people in general, power hungry. They don't want you to have your own platform. So with all the clapping, there's going to be some people over there like, I don't really like that. It's a lot of men, and us as men, we like power. So it's like, it's for the new generation, it's working for them. I believe because they are Ballroom. When I came out, I was Ballroom. We changed it. Now I am receiving of them changing it, but they're losing the culture a little bit. And even in the music, when I'm listening to the music over here, I hear classic, original old babies. I'm like, wait a minute, why is they playing all this crashing? And they're making us vogue fast over there, and the commentators are not flowing with my category. And so that attracted me to come here because I see that all of the hard work that the original Virgos did, it put for the international people, you guys captured the old way. Yeah. And that was that kept me alive. Because everybody is Vogue film everywhere. Everybody's slamming on their backs and there's no stories. And I believe that always tells the original story. So it's changing for the worse a little bit, but it may be better. So I don't know where it's going yet.
Because of social media too.
Yeah.
Social media is like you're looking at people that it wasn't social media. It wasn't YouTube. You had to get it how you got it. The difference between now is you can pull up YouTube, I want to vote like so-and-so in the house of so-and-so. Watch her a couple of times, you'll emulate her. It's nothing like getting on the hands-on experience. And that's where a lot of the young ballroom walkers got it twisted. You don't get that same je ne sais quoi you would get from somebody being hands-on versus social media. Everything, we're in a social media-driven society. One dip, one view is 4 million views from Wales to London to Scotland to Ireland to Brussels to everywhere. Oh, she live in New York, but I seen you. Oh my God, So it changes in that. To your point,
and because of that,
I just want to say one more thing. And our age group, we also have to learn how to move with the times.
Exactly.
Everything that they're doing is not horrible. It's just it could be something that we're not used to that we got to get used to. So I'm in a transition of trying to find my way. But I think that fresh new people who's receiving of the information is a little bit better for me to work with. So I'm starting here in Wells with my Wells family.
Can I just touch on that? So you talked about like money. So now you have categories that are just like face for like $30,000 and
$25.
Like what are your thoughts on that? How much money you can win?
I think it's ridiculous. The reason why I think it's ridiculous is because we're a community. So that means you're going to see the same people walk in the same categories. If I've seen you walk face for $1,000, why would I give you $10,000 when I know you're gonna? It's your same face. You're not changing it. The only thing you're gonna change is your outfit. But $5,000 to $15,000. Now it would be different if it was like an open to all where anybody could walk, and it kind of sort of is. But balls, most people are not gonna walk balls unless they really know about it or somebody brings them in, right?
Yeah.
So, to me, to pay that amount of money, but in the same arena with the same people, when you have the same people judging, right? The same type of political game going on. You just give me the money. Just here, I'll give you $15,000 because I know you're going to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it also, when people win money, it makes them think that they're bigger than what they are.
Or better than.
And it makes people think that, okay, I won this $15,000. I've only walked once, but I want to be a legend tomorrow.
Yeah.
That does not make sense, And because of that, people, they don't want to try. They don't want to struggle. They don't want to go through hardship. They want it now.
Right.
We're young. We don't want it. And it's good, like you said, for us to see things that we haven't seen, but at the same time, you can't think you're an icon because you did one move, you got 55,000 views, and you have never walked any other balls in that. But because everybody's doing your move, what makes you more special than this icon that have paved the way? You know what I mean?
They just started giving status out here recently. We didn't get status like that. I had to, in order to be a legend, I had to beat a legend.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
It was about your tenure. Do you have any moments? Now you can put a girl in a microwave, press 2 years, ding, you're an icon. But girl, you was just a
McDonald's
legend.
icon.
Right.
They're
It's
giving
crazy.
out status and you haven't gone through anything. Who had you beat? Are you state to state? Are you
consistent?
Are you consistent? Are you from Paris to London to Wales to Brussels to Scotland? Have you walked this region?
Right.
Are you known? Status is too. Okay, you an icon. You an icon. You an icon. You're an icon. Like Oprah.
Right. And for different
too
reasons.
much. Yeah.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
People give out status for different reasons. It could be for, well, let me answer the question first. The question was, I have always had bad experiences with large amounts of money. The pressure that it puts on you to perform it takes away your performance. They have something coming up for $10,000 for Oway. I am not walking that because, the next year is going to be $20,000. Now I done wasted my whole performance on the $10,000 to give somebody the opportunity to win the 20. And so that has me thinking like that. Whenever I walked when they first started the large amounts, it was $1,000.
Yes.
That's it.
And I lost. I was just panicking. I was tired. My best moments is walking for the trophy and for the cause and for the community and for the art. It's the art, and you have to appreciate the art. I think that if they do it for money, they should make us battle. And then when they give the grand prize, it's grand prize. Here's the $10,000 now. You deserve it. So now that person got the grand prize, but they didn't know that they was walking for this $10,000.
Right.
So it made it even more authentic. It made it better because when you say it now, on the flip side of that, how do we feel with all the work we did? We never got that amount of money.
Right.
And the work that we did, it was state to state. It wasn't really country to country. We started state to state. Our era. We would go to state to state to state to walk balls. And getting there, hotel fees, your outfit, all this stuff, just for 2 minutes of fame, and the commentator just might be shady.
Yeah. We have taken road trips, honey.
So no, I don't like large amounts of money. Yeah.
Sorry, just because naturally the segue where we've arrived. So I feel like I could probably guess the answer, but obviously like the commodification of things, like it always comes back down to capitalism, right? So it's kind of like Madonna, Beyonce, and I guess I just wondered, because I respect so much like your lineage and your history and the way you've really worked for your craft, like what do you make of seeing this kind of, essentially the co-option of ballroom in the context of, say, Beyonce? Like, what is your opinion of that?
I think that it's great that she wants to expose the talent that we have here. But at the same time, because they know that our culture is hidden and underground, they take advantage of that.
They do.
And you could be a legend in the ballroom scene, but they want to pay you $1,000 because you're going to be on Beyonce's tour and millions of people are going to see you. That's great. But if I'm already underground,
doing the work.
I'm only going to get this 10 minutes of shine on Beyonce's tour. Why am I only worth $1,000 when you are coming and you're taking something from my culture to enhance her as an artist, right? Because by enhancing her as an artist, you're now exposing her to our culture. So you should pay for that. You know, you shouldn't just, in another opportunity is lost things, they're not looking for the best in the ballroom culture who should be doing it. They're looking for the best who does it at the audition. And that person may not be in the ballroom scene. So in that aspect, I think it's unfair.
It's very unfair.
I mean, it's hard to stop because, you know, people of that stature, how do you stop them? But it is unfair. For example, when we got casted for Pose, that was a fantastic moment, you know. But for me, I didn't start, from a paying perspective, I didn't feel that I was getting my worth until I became a SAG member. You know what I mean? So I wanted to step it up because I know that how they feel. You know, this is an opportunity I'm giving you. You're going to be on TV, you know. I don't have to give you much money. You know how many people out there voguing that'll do this for free? You know what I mean? And
There's never ethics behind it.
yes, it's a shame.
Yeah, I also watched something recently where, you know, legendary, I'm sure she's legendary, Lena Bloom, Miyake Mugler. Lena Miyake Mugler.
I wouldn't say
Face. She wants
Yeah, I
face.
don't know, is she legend or no?
I don't know her.
I don't think she's
believe she's a legend
yet.
yet.
No, she's not legend.
I don't know, man.
I'm not throwing shade, but I don't.
No, my understanding, she's not legendary yet.
Okay,
Right.
She's
okay.
not.
But anyway, what she was saying is that she was meant to do Pose, I think the first season, and she wasn't down with it because she was like, okay, they're telling our story, but then when we turn up, they're like wrong people are in the positions telling us what to do, and you haven't lived this experience. So it's like, do you agree with stuff like that?
Yes.
That was due to people behind the scenes that were money hungry, that picked their girlfriends, that, you know, looked at an opportunity like Paris is Burning. There was an opportunity, Jenny Livingston, she took it. Pose is an opportunity to bring Ballroom back with more sophisticated cameras, more storylines. Ryan Murphy, I love this. You see more people at the balls with press passes and magazine article people, vloggers, versus ballroom walkers who are actually there to walk the ball. So that was an opportunity that was took that, you know, want to give a more up-to-date, let's say, sophisticated, still telling the Paris is Burning story, but adding the people in the community. So, yeah, like to Jamal's point, I don't feel a lot of people that could have told the actual story and got it right were exposed to that project. I feel like they got the best face-wise to represent a project, because at the end of the day, it's Hollywood. You got to look the part. But wouldn't it be amazing if you got somebody that looked the part and that knew their own story?
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Make it more authentic.
Yeah.
Right.
I just love to see us on TV.
Yeah.
You know, even though
Period.
it's all of the, you know, the closed doors behind you and, you know, the benefit and things like that. Just coming from a place being closed in, I always wanted people to learn the culture. You know, so when I see it in commercials, when I see it on Beyonce's tour or Saturday Night Live, even though I don't see anybody from Ballroom, but they're doing our dance or they singing our songs. And it's, for me, as much as we can get it out there, we're not underground anymore. We're no longer underground. And so now that we're out there, every time I see it out there, I just think it's an opportunity for more people to go out there.
Yeah.
It's just that the people that's in Ballroom that has those open gates only open it up for certain cliques and certain people. And that is sometimes it's your own people fighting against you. It's not really Beyonce, you know, it's the people who constantly have those gates. Say, oh, no, let me get my house members to do this. Or let me get my friends to do this. And they're not reaching into the community to get in fairness.
Yes.
To get the people that deserve to be there. When we went to go to see Pose, I didn't really know what I was going to get myself into. It was just the audition. They wanted authentic people from the ballroom scene to Vogue to help their film. You know, but we was the principal dancers, we wasn't extras, but we wasn't the stars. And when I was looking at what they were doing, we could have easily been in that movie. You know, easily. He's been in shows and plays. I'm very talented to the point where you just give me what you need to give me, and I can do it. So I do like to see us on television.
Yeah.
I do. I see at the Olympics. I'll be TV like, oh my God, look, yes, she's voguing. Oh my God, she's duck walking in the Coca-Cola commercial.
Yeah.
I just love it. You know, the more love, the more spread it around. We can't do nothing about the things that we can't do nothing about. So I try to stay a little bit positive in my thinking, like, oh my God, we get in vogue, it's going to cross the world, yes.
And I have to toot Jamal's whistle. I don't know if you want to talk about this, but y'all were looking at a recording artist.
Yes.
Michelle Visage, Lovely Day, Soul System. That's Jamal singing.
And have a Grammy. He has a Grammy.
He has a Grammy.
He does. He is a Grammy Award winner.
We're no strangers to the
Soundtrack bodyguard.
industry. We work. I'm on television. We work behind the scenes. We have other we're no stranger to stardom and working behind the scenes and being in touch with who we are. This is who we are.
And from the Whitney Houston soundtrack Bodyguard, he has his Grammy from that. So it's like,
Get into it.
touch on it.
Yeah, can we talk about Milan? Like, what is Milan?
Yeah. That's
because
Milan.
obviously, exactly. But also, like, how Milan was the first people to work with stars, right? Like stylists and.
We wasn't the first.
We wasn't the first, but in the House of Milan, we had the Mod Squad, which consisted of Eric Archibald, Gerard McKenzie, Gerard McLaren, Roger McKenzie, Cleto. Who else?
We made the most impact.
Like, have y'all ever seen Atiba Newsom? Have you ever Andrew? Have you ever seen the video Missy Elliott? I Can't Stop the Rain. The one with the garbage bag. We were involved in that video.
When Puff Daddy started coming out in fashion, Eric Archibald was behind all that.
All of that.
So we were one of the first ballroom houses from a stylist perspective to change hip hop.
Yes.
Little Kim
From the Jay-Z covers. All of that. Bad Boy, Sean John.
Yes. Eric Archibald did all of that.
Yeah.
June Ambrose,
from the ballroom scene,
is an A-list stylist who was responsible for Little Kim. Eric Archibald, who was her assistant, and Gerard McLaren, who was her assistant. They're responsible of her looks, and even today we have people who styled Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
Our fashion part of our house is what really made us so iconic.
Right.
We're fashion, we're beauty, and we're definitely performers. And everybody that comes through those gates, they become legends and icons.
Yeah. Eric is on tour with Megan Thee Stallion now. He's on tour with Megan now. So.
And to just touch on that again, Eric was one of the ones who was a stylist who actually went to the stores and pulled pieces that you would see on the mannequins and brought them to the runway.
Right.
So, and he did it legally. Whereas you had people busting windows and doing it, right?
Legally.
So when they found that out, and then found out that he was also styling people like Puffy and things like that, that's what helped elevate the House of Milan, because not only were we representing excellence on the ballroom floor, we were doing it in our personal lives as well, on television as well.
And I'm walking in his footsteps even with what I do, because I learned from them how to work in luxury, how to work on set, how to work under pressure. And they apply that same pressure on the ballroom floor, pulling the most exquisite pieces by the most exquisite designers, being the first to do it, being the first to wear Steven Sprouse, Vivienne Westwood, Yohji Yamamoto. These designers were the first to be worn by them on the Mark Ballroom floor. So,
and to touch on it, like what Milan means, Milan to me means excellence.
Yes.
In all that you do. So you can walk a ball and bring it the best as you can, but it doesn't end there. You also take this in your daily lifestyle. So, for example, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I said, because I'm a Milan, if I'm going to the store and I want to wear just a regular tank top and sneakers because I'm just running to the store, I'm not just going to wear a just regular tank top and sneakers. Why? Because I'm a Milan. And even when I'm not on the runway, Milan to me is excellence all around. So if that means that I have to put on a pair of shades to bring out this plain white t-shirt, or if I have to put on some sneakers, or if I have to put on a hat or something to make me Milan, that's what I do. So to me, even if it's a challenge in my job, if I'm presented with a work issue, a huge presentation that I'm about to present, I say to myself, okay, I'm nervous, but you are a Milan. Are you crazy? I look in the mirror, I tell myself, you can do this. You've toured the world. And that's how I give myself confidence in my daily life. So to me, Milan is everything excellence.
Yes, everything excellence. I agree with that.
For me, Milan is an independent person who can come into a ballroom without a house present and walk through a door and walk back out with the trophy. You know, with, you know, just your natural talents. One who is can get themselves together and is excellent at what they do. We all came together. We wasn't a house meetings from my area. We didn't have house meetings, and we didn't come together like how houses come together now. We met at the ballroom table. It was like, we're going to this ball. It's going to be on May 24th at 8 o'clock. Everybody meet there. And because everybody was so magical in their own place, we was able to go to the runway and storm and win. It's not the same now, but we're trying to practice and keep that momentum going. You know, it doesn't take much to come. It's your natural talents that God gave you first, before ballroom, before Milan. And you know, when you're outside of ballroom and you're in your career, and you have these challenges, sometimes Milan comes out. And when I say Milan comes out, being able to battle somebody and be, you know, unbothered on a sales floor as a salesperson, as a chef. I cook. I'm a chef. I was a salesperson, and I had to go through the shade with these people, cutthroat, trying to get the sell to the customer before me. But I knew what to do because I was a Milan and I'm from ballroom. So I was ready for that shade in the world. And sometimes you can take that Milan experience with you and you can use it for the good. And your ballroom taught me how to be ready, set, go. You know, Dawan, we need this food cooked by 11 o'clock and it's 3 uncooked turkeys. It's like, bing, it's ready. That's ballroom, you know. So Milan does mean excellence. It's an independent person who can support their own with their talent on the runway.
For me, I segue to that. For me, it's independence, it's class, it's an aesthetic, it's a lifestyle, it's an aura. I've walked into rooms. I call being a Milan being a thermostat. Go into the room and set the temperature on how you want things.
Yes. That's so Milan.
It works for me. It could work for you or against you. Like I'm in Wales. What's sticking out for me is my aesthetic to dress, but my accent. So I'm going to pull you in. You're going to listen to what I'm saying. That's Milan.
And you have to keep a balance. It's just a balance that comes with it, because it can also, if you think too highly of yourself, like some people I've seen do, it can work against you.
It could.
You want to be able to be, and I had to learn that while I was growing into ballroom, because when I came in, I was 16. I was looking at all these people styling all these celebrities. I couldn't even come back and tell my parents or my family, because they wouldn't believe me. So it's like, you know, when you look at it from that aspect, you have to be able to be a humble person as well. You know, still think highly of yourself. Don't let nobody walk over you, but still be humble to receive. And I think that, you know, every house go through things. And when we went through our worst changes, I believe that Hasidity thing that we had naturally, that we deserved and we earned, it started to work against us. And we had to learn how to be more receiving and more, you know, to other people. And I think that we started that, you know, and that's what opened the doors for people to want to be attracted to you.
I think we have the best in the House of Milan, or any house, or in your day-to-day walk. I'm just going to take ballroom and all of that outside the equation. I feel like Dawan and Jamal are my support system. Aww. I'm saying, as outside of ballroom, like I know Jamal, I know when he don't want to be bothered, but I don't take anything personal. It's just the years and the tenure, and when you have a support system, I wouldn't have ever thought about going this far in ballroom or in my house without a support system. Find somebody that you can cling to, develop their relationship with them, and that'll push you through in ballroom or whatever you do. Because without a support system for categories or just emotional support, you know, you have to have these things. And that's also, for me, to incorporate that in Milan as well.
we're almost out of time, so I think Lesetso is going to go into the screening now, and just quick Q&A, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
What y'all playing?
now we're showing you your greatest
Did you
highlight.
got me?
Get out of here!
You got me. I hope you got some.
I didn't even
good
see
stuff.
this behind here.
Oh my
Pictures?
God! Where's my phone?
Wait.
The greatest moments.
Oh my God.
What are your
Oh my God! Oh my God! I got teary-eyed.
That was so beautiful.
Oh,
Thank you,
God.
Kyle. I
That
love
was
you.
created by Supreme Milan.
Oh wow! We're Supreme Man.
Yes.
Oh wow!
I love that.
Yeah, just one more question, like before we wrap up. What advice would you give to the new generation of ballroom?
I'll start. Have fun. Have fun walking balls. You see, when we walked, with those cliffs, we were having fun. So I say have fun and let it loose, honey.
I say embrace the inner celebrity. Ballroom is our Hollywood.
Yes.
You are all celebrities, whether you are a star, a statement, a legend, an icon, a pioneer. The minute you walk in that ball, you are a celebrity. So remember to always push yourself and remember you are a celebrity and give your all and commit to whatever you bring on that runway. Commit to it from the minute you step on that runway to the minute you walk off.
I would say keep a life balance. You know, you're first. You're first. Education is first. Your job is first. You cannot be fab unless you're fab.
Yes.
You have to be fab to introduce fab. You know, you can't get lost in ballroom and then forget about your life. Yeah. With me, I've dedicated so much into it, I almost forgot about college, but I had to go back, you know. Yeah. So it's like, you know, you want to be able to have a job, work, so that you can get these clothes and get these hotels and get these plane tickets to travel. And with that, enjoy yourself on the runway. Practice your craft.
Yes.
You have got to practice. This is you. You know, if you was doing something else, if you was singing, you will always be singing. You'll be in the shower singing. Your family will be like, stop singing. Yeah. It's the same thing with voguing. And sometimes you're not comfortable voguing in front of other people. They don't understand the culture. They're like, what are you doing? So give your time in that space. It doesn't matter how small the space is, because when you're a voguer, the smaller the space is, the better you're going to be when you get that big space. Trust me, I've used furniture as people I'm battling. I've flipped over it. Say that chair, I'm like, you're going to flip over this chair. You're not going to touch that chair when you're flipping over it. Yes. Because so practice and keep a life balance.
Yes.
And that's a wrap.
You're welcome. Thank you, Thank you, everybody. This is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That's amazing. So we'll do some questions, yeah?
Oh, quick question.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Any questions, everyone?
I have one. I think I watched a documentary about where a femme queen was talking about the relationship that Butch Queens had in the scene with the femme queens and how they kind of were like protectors, not in like a masculine way, but just like within the ballroom scene as a whole. And I was wondering if you think that still happens now, where like the Butch Queens are still in places where they're protecting femme queens, or you think the relationship between Butch Queens and femme queens have changed a little bit now.
I would say it's changed, but I also say Butch Queens are protectors as well. We've always been brought up in the House of Milan. Roger, the father Roger, loved the femme queens of this house. He was a protector. We protect the femme queens. That's the automatic duty for a Butch Queen, and from where we're standing. It has changed over the years. You know, femme queens are a little bit more independent. Sometimes they're in the same business as the Butch Queen, but that's neither here nor there. But in the House of Milan, our duty is to protect the femme queens, or any female figure for that matter. It is up to us to protect you guys, because we want you to walk under this name, and we have no other choice but to do so. So
I agree with everything he said. Yeah. Another thing we do in the House of Milan, we try to make sure our ladies feel special. So if even opening doors, right? I don't have to go through first because I'm the father. You should go through first because you're a lady. That's the type of situation. When we are at balls, when they have tables, you should be sitting at the table first. I should be standing. So that's what we try to incorporate as far as the men in our house.
We want them to be as comfortable as possible.
And that comes from your home.
Yes.
Your mother teaches you that. Ballroom don't teach you that. you should know to respect women and women figures, and people who you should just do that naturally. It's something that tells you, it shows what kind of man you are. So I just treat women the same way I treat my aunts, the same way I treat the film queens. I don't have a lot of experience with transgenders and things like that because I was, on Vogue, and it just wasn't. I have friends and people who I love, but it was not my department. Some people all they hang around is transgenders, and people like that. I'm just more diverse. So, but when I am with them, I do treat them the way they should be treated, the way they feel like they want to be treated.
Mine isn't a question. I just can't sit here and not thank you for your flowers.
Oh my God!
It has been nothing but a privilege and a joy to receive what all I can say is every bit of your heart.
Thank
so,
you.
Just a heartfelt, deep, deep gratitude for your spirit, for all that you do, and I just wish you nothing but flowers forever.
Oh, I felt that.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sister. I felt that. That's beautiful. Yes, that was.
But honestly speaking, from all of us, all we can just say is thank you. Just thank you for your dedication, your passion, and for sharing the knowledge to the new generation. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are today. And we love you all. We appreciate it. Just thank you just coming for all this.
Yes, thank you.
So, all that is now left to say is mini Buddha love.
Let's get it started. Let me go
Thank you
change
so
my
much,
clothes.
guys.
Thank you. We'll see y'all at the ball.
We'll see you at the function.
Thank y'all so much.